Okay, this is a continuation of problem 4-1A, and what we were doing was preparing our adjusted trial balance, and we were going down here and just plopping into the columns by looking at the trial balance and then our adjustments, any adjustments. So if I look here, I have my salaries expense, and that's all. Oh, I don't know why that went there. Okay, let me come back over here. I want to highlight these, and I'm going to copy them. And you know what? I'm just going to copy all of this. Well, you know what? I can only do one at a time. So let me copy this over, back up, right here. Because those balances, there's nothing, no adjusting entries for them. And then the same thing here, I have adjusting entries for these accounts. So I can just, oops, I can just highlight those and carry them over. So I'll copy them and I'll come over here and paste them, and they're all debits. So let's see, hopefully I'm in balance. Yeah, it's a good thing, especially when you're recording. All right, so I have 57,800 as my debits on my adjusted trial balance and 57,800 as my credits on my adjusted trial balance. All right, so we're good there. Now and what we're doing is the whole cycle, right? So we have our trial balance, we have our adjustments, and then we created our adjusted trial balance. Now we're going to take the adjusted trial balance and prepare our financial statements. What I'm going to do is just hide these columns right now for a little bit, just so we can see what our adjusted trial balance is and prepare our financial statements. I just want to hide. Okay, so here I have my income statement, right? That's the first statement you want to prepare. What else can I do here? Okay, we have everything in total. All right, so let's see. For my income statement, I need my revenue. So I'm going to come over here. I have an adjusted trial balance amount of 14,150 for service revenue. So I can put that in here. And I have it in there, so I can just change the font color there. So I have 14,150 in revenue. Now I want to take all my expenses. So let's see, off of my adjusted trial balance right here. And you know what I'm going to do is just highlight the accounts we're going to be looking at in creating our income statement. So here I'm just going to take the amounts for salary expense, for travel, for rent, for depreciation, supplies, insurance, interest, and miscellaneous expenses. I'll go back. Sorry guys, the mouse, well, I gotta learn to let go of that mouse button when I'm moving. But here I'm going to put it in for my expenses on my income statement. And if I total up total expenses, I have 7,470 in expenses. Excuse me. And then what I want to do is just subtract my revenues from my expenses. And so we get net income of 6,680. All right, so we've taken care of the revenue and expenses. I can take that net income amount and put it right in my owner's equity statement, right? That's the next statement we're going to prepare. So I'll just take that 6,680 and plop that in there. My beginning capital is 0 because this business started January 1st, but he did make an investment, right, of 20,000. So I'll put that in there. Okay, so I'm going to add the 20,000 and the net income, and what I'll do is subtract out my drawings from that. But let's put that, I should have 26,000 680 so far prior to subtracting out the drawings. If I look here, here's my drawing account. So that's what we're using now, right? We're using these two line items to create our owner's equity statement. So let me highlight that. All right, so we're creating our owner's equity statement. Here I took my capital of 20,000, right? I plopped in the net income, and now I'm going to put in the drawing of 600. All right, so if I subtract that, if I subtract the 26,680 and the 600, I'll get capital of 26,080. Okay, so that's my ending capital. Now what I want to do is prepare my balance sheet. And so what I'm going to do, well, first I'm going to take that ending capital from my owner's equity statement, that 26,080, and put it right in my balance sheet, because that's my ending capital for this quarter of ending March 31st. Oops, you know what? I don't want to put the number in. I think I have it in there already. So I have 26,080. I'm sorry, am I getting too low here? Okay, 26,080. And then what I want to do is just carry over the balances that I have from my adjusted trial balance into my, and put that into my balance sheet. And let me just hide these columns here. So now we can look at our balances from the adjusted trial balance and just plop them right into our balance sheet. So I have cash, right? I'm just taking these amounts now. Right, the cash of 11,400, and I'll just carry these right over. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's see. If I highlight that, and here I'll have current assets. Now what they're showing you here is a classified balance sheet, right? This is another part of this chapter where they show you the proper way to create a balance sheet using the classified method. And so we're going to classify our assets as either current or long-term, and the same thing with our liabilities. So here I have current assets. Cash is the most liquid, so it's listed first, and then so on. Accounts receivable, supplies, prepaid insurance. Let's see, what else do we have? All right, then I get a total here of 19,730. Then I want to get my plant, property, and equipment. That would be long term. So let me get, I'm messing with the microphone here because I don't know if you guys can hear me. It keeps dropping low. Okay, so I want to put in right here. I have my equipment of 30,000. Where am I? Oh, sorry, it's over here. So this is all combined. Here's my total for equipment of 30,000. And then I want to subtract from that my accumulated depreciation. Remember, accumulated depreciation is a contra asset account, and that's 1,000, right? Trial balance tells me it's $1,000, so I'm going to put that here. Oops, that's the balance. Here, I'm going to put it here. And so the net amount will give me that 29,000. If I add these two together, my current assets, right, my current assets of 19,730 and my net, my book value for my equipment is 29,000, and so I get a total of 48,730. All right, so that's all my assets. Now I'm going to, from my adjusted trial balance, take my liabilities, and the amounts are right here, right? I'm looking for my payable accounts. I have accounts payable, interest payable, and notes payable, right? And here's my adjusted balance for each of these. So I have the notes payable, accounts payable, and the interest payable all carried over. And if I total up those current liabilities, I'll get 22,650. Okay, we already transferred our capital over to our balance sheet, and that was from our owner's equity statement. So now if I total up my liabilities and the owner's equity, oops, I get a balance of 48,730, and that ties to my assets, 48,730, and so we're good. We just finished creating our financial statements. All right, so now I'm going to end this part, and in the last part, we'll look at the closing entries and making a post-closing trial balance.